In the words of Victor von Frankenstein, it's alive! Again? Today on Retro Turds, we're playing Frankenstein Returns. It was released by Bandai in 1990 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I am a die-hard Universal Monsters fan. I have a Frankenstein's monster tattoo. My wife has a tattoo of Frankenstein's bride to match. He's pretty much my favorite monster. So when I saw that there was a Frankenstein game for the NES, I thought, even if it's bad, hey, it has Frankie. But the problem is there's very little Frankie. More on that in a minute. The premise is a straight ripoff of the Castlevania games. Frankenstein's monster has risen from the grave because of reasons, and he is seeking revenge for the villagers who killed him. He does this by kidnapping a little girl. You play the villager sent to save her. Along the way, you run into a bevy of monsters, none of which are Frankenstein. You fight a dragon, giant knights, a demon horse, the Grim Reaper, and my personal favorite, the Martian Muppets who go yip 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 yip. None of the boss fights are fun, as they're all just different versions of dodge the projectiles and punch until it starts blinking. This is a perfect example of a game that has more ambition than actual content. It really wants to blend the gameplay of Castlevania with the village concept of The Legend of Zelda 2, and ultimately it fails. You are painfully slow and your enemies are stupid fast. This never makes for enjoyable NES gameplay. The worst thing though? This thing they call Frankenstein is barely Frankenstein. It has good grammar. It has supernaturally re-arisen from the grave. It's just not Frankenstein. I never understood why these NES games featuring monsters never actually let you be the monsters. In Friday the 13th, you don't get to be Jason. In Nightmare on Elm Street, you don't get to be Jason. And in this game, you don't get to be Frankenstein. Frank is the easiest monster to turn into a hero. You could have him seek revenge on Dr. Frankenstein. Heck, you could even have him seeking revenge on the villagers for killing him, because ultimately he wasn't really that bad. Both of those would make for a much better premise for a game. Don't call your game Frankenstein's Revenge, and then only have him in the game for like 4 minutes tops. I don't want to spend 5 levels chasing Frankenstein, I want to be Frankenstein.